Hey there, good morning. I'm John. Today is Friday, April 18th, 2025, and this is my daily vlog, my morning ritual stand-up where I come into my studio each morning, turn the lights and camera, and talk to you about what I've been doing, what I'm doing next, and how it's going in my endeavors to make content creation indefinitely sustainable. So start by rewinding to yesterday, which had two primary goals, both of which I accomplished to varying degrees of success. So of course, yesterday I wanted to complete and publish the new Friday plays for this week out to members and prep it for release today. I did get that done. Probably got that done about 3 in the afternoon, 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon. I had done a little prep work before I left for my trip this week, so I was in pretty good shape to get that done. So that will come out, of course, today to everybody about 3 in the afternoon. But I got that finished, of course. And then I was prepping for a live stream yesterday. So yesterday was so there was a release of the reimagined version of iRobot. It came out, and we got some keys to give away from Atari, some keys to review, but also had coordinated guests to be on there, Ivan Zorzan and Jeff Minter, both from Llama-Based, to talk about the game that they had created and released. And so I had to prep for that live stream. I did some advanced tech. There's a lot of moving parts. So look, I don't know how people that didn't work in television can understand how to wrangle all these moving parts when you have audio coming in on multiple tracks and video. I did lots of prep, and even then, the first 5 or 10 minutes of the live stream was not right because audio couldn't be heard. All that being said, I'll talk about at the end of this video what I'm going to do about that, but ultimately, we ended up with what I think was a very insightful and enjoyable live stream with both Ivan and Jeff talking about not just this game, but about their history of games and also their gaming design philosophy. And I gained a lot more understanding and knowledge and insight into what it is about Llama-Based games that make them so addictive. You know, I think previously, I won't go into it too much here, but previously people just thought, oh, it means trippy psychedelic stuff. And that's part of it, but that's not the design mechanic behind it. That's the icing on the cake. And I found it very informative, and I hope others did too, which is why I want to make sure that the ultimate evergreen part of this live stream becomes easy to consume. So we'll talk about that in a second. Let's first talk about stats before we move into today, though. Stats had a little uptick yesterday. I was pleasantly surprised. No new content other than a short came out yesterday, but just on the live stream and the history of stuff coming out did well. Let's bring up my chart. You know, I'd like to be at or above this midpoint, which represents 13,000 views and 130 subscribers average over the last 7 days. Over our targets today, wow, 13.2 thousand views and 193 subscribers. You can see on the upper left there, the little 28-day chart, little uptick yesterday that I wasn't expecting. Always pleasant. And with good stats come good numbers. So on the subscriber front on the main channel, yesterday we were at 92,400 and about a half. And today we're at 92,600 and about a quarter. So another good day, humming along. I look, by the time, usually through 4 or 5 over the weekend, by the time we talk on Monday, we should be at 93. How about that? So today, I have a lot of small tasks I want to accomplish today to take care of. It's a Friday. I'd mentioned yesterday about man, maybe I'll take Friday off. I don't feel like that anymore, but I also feel like I'm going to use this Friday to get as far ahead as I can for next week as possible, so I don't have another week of playing, catch up or trying to get ahead, which get ahead is what I'm doing instead of catch up, I guess. So today, of course, is the Friday Plays release. I'll be monitoring that this afternoon. I need to go back to the live stream chat and randomly pick 3 winners because we have 3 free Steam keys to give away. So I'll get that taken care of this morning and monitor emails over the course of the next couple of days to make sure I get those prizes sent out. I have to do a little bit of podcast writing. I think I'm mostly ready, but we have a podcast recording this afternoon. Because Mo was out of town for a week, and when it broke up our schedule, so instead of 2 last week, we did 1, and then we have 1 coming today to do. That's the end of the day task. I'm going to continue working, see how much I can get done toward the next ranking tier. I had slated that for release tomorrow, but with the short week, I just wasn't able to get everything done that I wanted. It was optimistic, I know, but maybe I can get it done for next Saturday or late next week or something. But I wanted to go ahead and start working on it in earnest today, do some writing and some more work on that. So I think I can make some good progress on that today. Also, since shorts are doing so well, as I've gone back to the ranking tiers and re-edited shorts down, now that we have a full 3 minutes per short we can do, they're getting a lot better traction. So I'm going to go back to another old ranking tier and start chopping that up, because we still have plenty of Imagic, but I want to make sure when those run out, we have the next wave ready and I'm not living hand to mouth on those. Let's see, I got that. And then, of course, the podcast recording in the afternoon that we will do. So, yeah, it's plenty for today. I know I'm thinking of have lunch with a friend at some point today. We had some preliminary plans, so we'll see how that shakes out. Yeah. So that's before I leave. I'll talk a little bit about the live stream. There's a lot of, like, when you get in a live stream and you see in the chat, like, we can't hear the guests, and I'm like, oh, like, I can feel the blood flushing to my head, and I'm like, don't freak out. Don't, like, if I wasn't live, I'd be streaming profanities, because I did so much prep to make sure it was right, and in the end, it was just an OBS tool hiccup. Like, it did not detect the audio source. I had to take out my earbud, put it back in the case, put it back in, because I was wearing an earbud in my ear for guests, headphones over my head to hear the game, and then game sound, then other sounds, pop-ups and things, those are happening outside. So I had multiple audio sources coming from multiple originations, and I had them all worked out, and it was sometime between then and when we went live that it lost the source. And I'm like, and the only way to get it back was to unplug it and plug it back in. We had one more little hiccup where Google Meet decided you had a 1 hour limit. We'd fix that. It was just logistics. But so there's the first probably 6 or 7 minutes of the live stream that are really embarrassing for me. Even though most people understood, nobody's like giving me grief. I just want to make sure it's easy to watch for the next person. So I'm not going to take it down and put it back up. What I'm going to do is use the YouTube editor tool to chop out that few minutes where the guests can't be heard cleanly from where I introduce what game we're talking about, and jump right into where everything is clean and audible. So I'm going to work on that today. They have some decent tools for that. It's really just marking an in and out point and killing that section is what it will do, which is fine. So I'm going to work on that at some point over the next, probably, I'll do it over the weekend probably. I won't do it today. But yeah, I don't want to do that until after I pick the winners, because I don't want to, you'll chop out probably some of the chat and you can lose some entries for the winners, so I won't do that. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I want to make sure that the beginning doesn't chase away somebody and make them miss the really good content that was the remaining hour. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to try to tweak that so that it's not just me that a quality issue, which is me a quality issue, but also make sure that people don't miss out on the good part because they think the whole... I mean, I guess you wouldn't think that. Why would it be on for an hour if it was like that for an hour? It must have gotten fixed, and it did. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's my lineup for today, and then we have a weekend, and then we'll get after it Monday. Next week is a normal week again, finally. So no out time, no travel, no craziness. So we'll get after it again next week. So that then is how I'm going to wrap up this week. So I'm going to go ahead and thank you for popping in to check out today's vlog, if that's what you did. If you're one of those beautiful peeps that are here every day, I love you for that. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your understanding as we have shakeups and schedules in the weeks. And sorry I missed you during the travel, but a normal week next week. We'll get after it again. Don't forget, have a great weekend and a good Friday. Don't forget to do something good for yourself on all 3 days. And I'll talk to you again next week. Bye-bye.